Hey, I'm Kev. Welcome back to FI European Truck Racing Championship, as we are going to be taking part in the European Truck Racing Championship, and then we can upgrade to the World Series once we've dominated.
Great choice. The European Truck Racing Championship is a fantastic competition and has a wealth of talent from all over Europe.
That's good to know. Deep Voice Man has set with their opponents on the circuit during the practice round, got the qualifying round, got race them, so we got 25%, 50 or 75. Should we see? Can't remember how long the races are now. The truck series. There's only around 10 because they do multiple races per weekend, so it's only around 10 laps, isn't it? Should we turn that up? Let's keep it at 50, shall we? And then we can turn it up. And then we got do so beginner, intermediate, professional, and that's it. Let's go against the pros, shall we? That's in difficulty. What did I say it on? Did I say it on hard before? I think I did. So I think those will be the settings then.
This is the dashboard, where you'll be spending your time in between races. The garage is where you'll repair parts and upgrade them to increase performance or make them last longer. But you'll first need a full season contract before you can do that. The calendar is where you'll view upcoming events and available contract offers. In the standings tabs, you can view the race results and leaderboards. And if you'd like to review your contract, go to the team tab. Head on over to the calendar to proceed to your first race.
Okay, so that's pretty cool that we can upgrade and repair our parts then for the trucks. You can see our stats, we can cancel our current contract even though we apparently don't have one.
These are the standings for the Drivers' Championship. Check these regularly to see how you're doing.
So we've got 8 rounds from Mazzano, which we know from MotoGP, and the Blanc Pan as well, and DTM. And then we've got Hungary, which you know, of course, from F1 as well, and the touring cars, Nürburgring, perhaps the most famous circuit on the calendar, or is it? Because we've got them on there as well, we can see. Slovakia Ring, one of the modern circuits I actually really do like. Most from the Czech Republic, so I don't really know, but it's on the ADAC, GT Masters, it's in Race Room as well, so very much looking to try it out. Zolder, which we've just been testing round, so we definitely know that. And then Harama, which used to hold F1 races, but is now more holding kind of European Championship or domestic championships. So let's check out the calendar.
This is the calendar. Here you can view the upcoming race weekends. Choose from one of the available weekends to get your racing career started.
So in May, we've got some testing to do in the site. So description, this is practice around one of the oldest circuits. And then we've got a Le Mans prologue. Of course we do. As Le Mans is not one of the most famous circuits, but it's also one of the most memorable and distinguishable. So this is the Bugatti layout, I'm guessing. The one that we know from the MotoGP games. And then the first round of the season. Now Mazzano, located on the East Coast, it opened in 1972, almost 50 years old now. Known for its on-straight overtaking opportunities, Mazzano ensures an exciting experience. So should we do some testing? All we do are meant to be contract offers as well. It says June. So there's Slovakia Wing. Oh, is it 10 years old now? Okay. Hungary Speedway, they called it. Okay. But yeah, we got practice in between races. So this is where we upgrade our parts then. As you look through the calendar. Not much in August. Had a bit of a summer break. Just a couple of practices. And in September, back to the racing. In Most at Zolder. Oh, September, a bit busy. And then finale on the 5th October. Located north of the Spanish capital, memorable for its brown yellow scenery, as well as its straight and many turns. It's okay, that's easy recognised. So let's head to the Nürburgring and then let's check out what practice is. Okay, that was a nice little kind of intro. A bit strange not having music over the top, but I guess I turned it down. I've had to turn it off now because of reasons. So, tuning sense. So we do get a couple kind of given to us. So we've got balanced, cornering, or stability. Don't care about the stability, I just want some cornering. So brake bias, that means it's turned all the way to the rear, it looks like. So you can get the rear end out. And then suspension, I'm guessing is soft, from what I can tell from that. From cornering, so that means we can roll perhaps the truck into the corners a bit more. And so along with that brake bias, we might be drifting around the corners, basically like we learned in the license test. That might be the quickest way around it. So the rules then. So as you can see, 4 races per weekend. So race 1 and 3 get 20, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2 and 1. And in races 2 and 4 just 10 to 1. That's the weekend structure. So practice and qualifying, and then the races in the afternoon. And the starting grid. So race 1 and 2 determined by qualifying and Super Pole. Race 2 determined by the results of race 1. Race 4 determined by the results of race 3. The first 8 trucks at the end of race 1 and 3 will be raced in reverse order, so for race 2 and 4. So qualifying uses the driver's best time to in the starting grid. Top 10 qualifiers go through to the Super Pole, where they have 1 lap to beat everyone else. And then the Drivers' Championship, and then the Teams' Championship, then the Grammar Cup, named after Casey Grammer from Cheers and Fraser fame, is exclusive to Chrome Division drivers. It's the same score system as the Drivers' Cup, but it's specifically to the participants. The Grammar Cup as a separate standard only features participants of the Cup. Then we get some prize money for being in the top 10, get some penalties, so we receive a warning before a penalty is given. And in the event of a drive-through, as you've seen, we just auto drive through pit lane. And if they can't be given on a final lap, so that'll be converted to a 30-second time penalty. And it talks about penalties. So if a driver's committed 3 offences on the 4th, they'll receive a drive-through penalty, so don't cut the corners too much. We get caught speeding. How do we get caught speeding? Oh, so if a driver is caught over the 160 99 per hour limit, because these trucks are limited on top speed. And if a driver touches the penalty mark, receive a warning. Dead heat. So it's the whole of the number of first places, then second, then third, and so on. And then classes. So we've got the Titan class. It's a driver of the or the ETRC, should I say, the last 10 years, a champion in the last 10 years. Driver who's finished in the top 10 in the previous season. Any driver who's finished 6+ in any Super on the previous season. No, Chrome Driver's drive doesn't quite fit the criteria. Chrome Driver can take part in 4 seasons and a weekend. So I'm guessing we're a Chrome Driver then. There's the standings, and see no one's there yet, so we're tuning. So let's take part in this practice then. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of the practice is, but I guess we just drive around in the wet here as well at sunset.
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
There's water on track. How are they not keeping cool? Come on. As your brake's a bit too much for the hairpin, isn't it? Graphics do look a bit weird, like reflections and shadows in the water. It's like it's got the shine, but it's just like a mirror reflecting rather than having that kind of on the ground, kind of lived in feel. So it's a bit distracting. And remember, there is the right hander coming up, so got to brake for that. At least if we run out of water, we could just, get our bucket out, fill up the brakes as well. There we go, just let the truck rotate. I do like this handling. We can get the rear end kind of rotated, and that seems to be most of the battle won. These trucks. So what are we aiming for? There's no real objective, it seems it's laid out here. As there we go, here we are limited by the top speed. Oh god, I'm braking for... That's where I would brake normally for... Oh god, hit the penalty marker. That's where I would normally brake for... Should have got it down to 6th. I brake for the F1, I think it is. I brake at 100 marker. So they didn't care about that. As hello, caught that slide just before it occurred. So it's going to be interesting about slipstream and how do we really pass.
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
Once again, I can just get my bucket out. Calm down, okay? So that's a bit wide. So yeah, once again, what is the objective of this? Is this just to impress people to get a contract? Even though it says we've already... It's a bit confusing, I admit, Kiloton. It's opening. Like, you haven't explained it very well. You just said, there's a practice, do it. There's a low slide. I'm a bit surprised as well with the handling with what appears to be a wet track. It's incredibly stable. It doesn't feel any different than the dry, which I'll be honest, I probably would have expected anyway. Could have done, but considering how there's been no real difference in the WRC games either. And plus there's weird modding back there. You see that right hand that leads onto this straight? I get it. I've got to cool my brakes. Are we trying to get down below a certain time? Still don't get it. But yeah, the modelling on that right hander before the straight, just really weird. Like they've got the downhill aspect, but then they've got a little dip. And the corner just slopes away. It doesn't have that little dip in the middle. I'll show you when we go around it again here. Or we just wait until we run out of water or something. Well, that's not an off-track good. Oh, is this just a time session? Are we doing it to like 10 minutes? Once again, I actually also forgot to mess around with the feedback setting, so I've got the same feedback. Yeah. How about I spray water over your mic so you go on talk, okay? What the hell is that? Why is there a ghost suddenly in front of me? Hey, I'm just driving along, and that appears. Why would I want that in front of me? I'm being haunted. But yeah, if we go through this corner that it slopes away, it just looks weird. It looks wider as well. And driving through, as I say, it dips down rather than kind of slopes away. Good. Oh, he's at the penalty marker. Are you trying to get under 2 minutes? Is that what we're aiming for? As I think you've probably seen enough of me practicing, so shall we head to the first race of the season? So from what I can tell, all you do is drive around and then you choose to retire. I drove like 8 laps and then my water ran out, so I just retired. That was entirely pointless, it seems like. So that was very good, as then we just advance to more practice. We go back. It says we've got no team at the top, but then do we have to cancel our current contract? I'm very confused. That's our experience setup. If we just check that again. So if I go back, it's a bit confusing when I'm playing with a wheel, everything being like PC controls, but showing up. So is that the same if we go here? I'm guessing the only difference here is that I've got a crowd cheering me on for some reason doing the testing. Let's see what this Bugatti circuit is like then, so. So I lost the rear a bit too much under braking. As once again, it feels in this like we've got a damp track. Below us, do we? Yeah. Oh, maybe we need to use the water into that corner. Use it on the exit. Hello. As we do have a couple of hard braking zones around it.
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
I never would have guessed. God's sake. There's a way to mute her like we can Jeff in F1 games. They just leave me to do the driving, okay? Let's go through the double right. So this is where the cornering setup should help us, getting that rotation in the middle of the corner. Even though, again, you can see the track falling away from us on that second right. We should be rotated enough that we can just straighten it up, get straight on the power for this back straight. That's all we need. Brakes are overheating as a thing. And I may change how to get rid of the messages on screen because, again, I'm a bit distracting. Just having them in the middle of the screen. It's not like I can choose to put them at the top or the bottom. That would have been a nice option. So yeah, this is a lap of the Bugatti circuit. Hope you enjoyed it. So we're going to retire and actually do some racing in Mazzano. That's around Moto 3 lap speed, is it? Nah, they're not that slow, are they? Once again, that was just entirely pointless, it seems like. That's where you going, truck. At least I didn't drive that bad. They're always taking down all the brake motors. Hopefully they don't replace them in time for the races. So here we go then, the Mazzano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli for 4 races of fun.
These are the available contracts. Each team has different standards and requirements, so they all offer different contracts. Contracts have different objectives, requirements, and lengths. Some are for a weekend and some are for a full season. You'll need to meet their objective if you want to earn reputation. By earning reputation, more contracts become available to you as you become more and more in demand. As you're just starting off, you begin in the Chrome class. After getting promoted to the Titan class, even more contracts will become available to you. Each team also has a profit that they want to make at the end of the season. The credits you earn from races can be spent on repairs and upgrades. Lastly, every contract awards a different amount of reputation. The higher the reputation awarded, the more demanding the contract. Make sure you consistently meet your team's objectives and have enough credits at the end of the season to pay your team. Because if you fail at either of these, your contract will be terminated. Keep up to date with your team's morale to see how well you're doing. Now, take a look at each contract and choose the one that appeals to you the most.
That feels like the Ferrucci clause, isn't it? If you don't pay your team at the end of your contract, you get terminated. So, we've got T-Sport Racing then. They offer a reliable truck for the weekend. We've got the best mechanics in the world. If you're interested, let us know. And then that is it.
So did we not do enough for the practice things to get better contracts? Is that what happened? Like, if we actually bothered to do the Mon stuff, we get a better contract, or is that just reputation? Looks like it's just reputation, isn't it? Requirement 0, so 120, 200. Objective is to get 11th. Objective is to get 10th, I'm guessing? Same profit and slightly less reputation earned per race. Hang on, so are we racing to get 40, or are we trying to get 160?
Excellent. Congratulations on signing your first professional contract. Now let's head to the race.
So we are in Mazzano then. Crowd cheering hard. We got a dry track as well. Got some sunset conditions.
It's finally the race weekend. Each day begins with a practice session, followed by qualifying. If you get through qualifying, you go to the Super Pole. Otherwise, it's straight to the race. Here, you can make some tuning changes to your truck, check the standings, repair your parts, and check the rules. Repairing your parts is something you'll have to do when you accept a full season contract. You'll need to repair after every race, but as you only have a weekend contract, you don't need to worry about that yet. Use your practice session to get used to the circuit and your truck. When you're out on the track, whether it's practice, qualifying, or a race, you can retire from the session at any time. Good luck out there.
Thank you, Deep Voice Man. I'll do it for you. As we got cornering, you've seen all the explanations. So let's check out this Mazzano World Circuit. So I have changed some of the force feedback sense, trying to turn up the road feel apparently and suspension, and added a bit of dampening because, as I said, it feels like this is one of those games that has kind of built-in dampening, which we kind of have to have to get any feel. Oh god. Did I get my braking done? I did. So we know this first section very well. Oh, we know where the rear end loves to go light through there. We go down the back straight now, so as you can see, we've got rid of all the temperatures. We're going off the gauges. Can we go off the gauges? I swear you could go off the gauges, maybe not. Basically, no, heavy braking zone, use your damn water. Light braking zone, you can probably get away with it. So here we go, then this double right. God, this is so treacherous on a bike. Not that bad in a truck. So do we do the full circuit then? That'd be pretty cool. Do we lift? I'm gonna try and make... Oh no, we don't need to lift for that one. Maybe the second one we do. Oh my god. I've added... Oh no, we got a chicane! Who added this in? Oh no, we don't. Oh, we're doing the short layout. Okay. Yeah, screw those right-handers. All they do is cause us trouble. So yeah, we do the alternate layout. Oh, so from what I can tell, the only feedback sense I've changed is if I go over the curb, really drags the wheel away. So maybe I've got to turn it down a bit. So 220. Let's go qualifying.
Now it's time for qualifying. Try to set the fastest lap you can. Good luck.
If I get a part, I'll dedicate it to you, Deep Voice Man. Okay, let's get going. So in this, we only got 2 laps to do this. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Don't need to brake too heavily into that first corner. With the left and then hard on the power for the last right. Had to lift slightly because I kept the inside curve there, which is not a good idea. Oh, there we go. Got it into the apex. Well, we've got all these penalty marks to avoid. There's also someone else is qualifying, it looks like. So we go down the back straight, use a bit of water, while we're not concentrate on braking as well. Look at that trail braking into the corner, actually really works. Gone a bit wide on exit though. But this circuit's actually pretty fun in the trucks, I didn't expect that. Maybe should have tried a bit more into that corner, or got it down to second. Again, tiny bit of water on the exit of the corner. So we call those brakes for this kind of flat out section. So first one is flat out. And then you've got to slow down for this one, because this is our braking point. Into this. Oh god, that's tight.
Cool. Remember to spray water on them.
I know. Maybe I should have just set it to normal for difficulty. Maybe I wouldn't have had it on the radio so much. So that's not a bad lap, is it? 2:13.
One lap left.
So we've got one more of that for glory. God, the truck just rotates into that right-hander. It's freaking glorious. Like, people in the crowd must be like having their jaws dropped seeing the truck go through that first corner. I am. Let's see if getting it down to second helps in here, where we can, a bit like with the MotoGP bikes, just rotate off the throttle now. Oh no, hello. We found a way to be flat out on the exit. See, just like with a Moto 3 bike. This transition across. I didn't ever think I'd ever be saying that about this. That I'll be learning that some sort of from the MotoGP games would be helpful. With this, as we got a drift on there, really I did have to turn the wheel there. But it is. Oh yeah, get it down to second, that helps with the rotation. As these are just torquey things, these trucks. So you see the top speed is limited. All the weight's on the front as well. So you want this loose rear to help with that rotation. It's seriously, this just cornering setup is fantastic. Oh god, put it down to second again. Okay, third for that one, second for this one, shall we say. Did not go down to second for the first part. As you head into the final corner. There you go, nicely done. This is going to be a bit slow, isn't it? We got a bit too sideways and carried away, unfortunately. So it should be a good time. It is at the top by over a second.
Well done on making it through to the Super Pole. You're going to be placed between 1st and 10th on the grid. Continue your good form into this session and achieve a high starting position.
So we all won that for glory then.
One lap left.
And we don't really need to use the water too much on these qualifying laps. This is mainly for the race. We've got to be thinking of that. So got on the power so early.
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
That's oh hello rear end. Let's see that rotation. That's all. Avoid the penalty markers, good job. See, as long as we don't hit the penalty markers, we're never off track. Never off track. See, never off track, didn't hit the penalty markers. Okay. One thing I don't get about the gearing is that in the options you have that for basically the speedo. Oh no. Once again, not liking going down the second. Is that you can see in front 1 to 4. It sets on the speedo we wanted it in, you know, L5 to H8. Then we don't get that option for what we're looking at in front for the dash. Bit weird. I would have thought that K'd over. Obviously not. Just so we can get away with third actually everywhere. Maybe you don't need to get it down to second. Go using the curves beautifully towards the line. Another 2:13, is it? No, 14. Terrible lap. Terrible lap. But it is pole by... What? Almost 4 seconds. What were they doing in Super Pole?
Qualifying is over, and now it's time for the first race of the weekend. Do your best and enjoy it. Good luck.
We've got here. Finally, we can do a race. So, we've got cornering rules, standings. Let's see how long this 50%er is then.
Mercedes, MAN, Scania, Iveco, Freightliner. The FIA European Truck Racing Championship is about to start. The show is on.
I wish I had the music on now. We have like some jamming 90s rock metal in the going, shredding going on in the background as you go through the grid walk. All 12 trucks.
ETRC is ready to race.
I love this man. My God. Absolutely brilliant voiceover work. We need this in the F1 games as well. Every racing game needs this.
Gentlemen, let's get ready.
To rumble as you get going for 6 laps. And hey, you've damaged our window. Yeah, you. Get out of it. Yeah, you get a bit of a shove. Oh, he shoved me back. The dick. I'm gonna have no windscreen left by the end of this race. Is that over it? We're ahead. Don't go too wide. That was good elbow to elbow racing, shall we say. Let's all just avoid the penalty markers. Now let's see if it's a bit more competitive in the race then. It's got really trail braked into that corner. Looking in our mirror to the left, it looks like they're not exactly falling off us. And again, we're not exactly pushing hard at the moment. I mean, it is the first lap. Just making sure we're staying on the old black stuff and getting a lead. Oh, they lose a bit on acceleration looking in the mirror.
Try to hold your position.
No, I actually want to lose
Your brakes
first.
cool. Remember to spray water on them.
For God's sake. I wish there was a way to get rid of the subtitling. And as I said, just mute whoever your crew chief is. Give me deep voiceover, man, as my crew chief. I would listen. Can we get that in an update? Please get it done.
Try to improve on that last time.
It's the first damn lap! I'm in the lead! What more do you want? How about you try and do it, okay? I quit. I'm parking up at the end of this lap. I'm heading to the World Series immediately. Top 10 biggest dramas in motorsport. Number 1, you will not believe. Driver in first race in European truck racing just quits after the second lap after leading by 80 seconds. But it feels like 80 seconds, it's actually more like 3 or 4. We really are like Ducatiing it into that corner, like we're taking the trail brake and the deep apex and cutting off the corner on the exit, not really taking it as...
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
So not too far back, they're just not gaining. Like this part we just gain, feels like half a second, and then the rest of that they spent catching up on that. So they're close at that point for the double right, but then they just lose it all on the next, on the straight, which is very disappointing. Hopefully that's not the case round... What's a circuit which is quite fast as well? Maybe the Mans. Maybe the Nürburgring, maybe that circuit. Because you got that front stretch and back stretch. Well, so you get onto the third lap. Not looking too bad at all. This is looking quicker than our qualifying effort. 1:12.2. I'm clinging on to this position for dear life. With my 2 and a bit second lead, it looks like behind. So it looks like they're back to doing 2:14s, I would guess, behind. Which, considering on the hardest difficulty and we're comfortably at least a second quicker, is a bit disappointing. Might need to patch that killer time, make it a bit harder. Because I'm not exactly going quick, all I'm doing is hitting my apexes. Because it's so easy to mess up in these things with how heavy it is into braking zones. And I should maybe test out my free if I'm quick online, see if anyone is doing that. Do it before everyone gives up after like a week, like they do with MotoGPs and the WRC games. As in this, I've actually built a lead looking behind. Oh, so we've got to remember, we've got to chase after that second place person after the race to get to pay for the windscreen repair bills. This is our weekend truck. We're only here for one, for 4 races. Don't want to turn it like this.
You can win this race.
Saying, so I didn't really believe in myself till that message really lightened up my black heart.
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
I'm not sure I'm being sarcastic enough towards her. Be honest, as... Oh, could this be under 210? No way. Oh, 210.5. Into the second half. of the race. Feel like maybe we should make them a bit more sprintish, maybe 25%ers, but I don't know. Especially with the difficulty as it is at the moment. Because all really had to try to break into that corner. At least you can't really lose the front end on these things. We can definitely lose the rear if we want. But look at that rotation. It helped us get through the last part. Kind of revved it a bit too much on the exit though. So let's try and get it up below a 210. If we can do that, be very happy. Like you saw with that Nürburgring test, we started 2-minute 4s, was it? Put it down to like 156.5, so seems like we're going for a similar improvement round it. We started off with a 2:15, wasn't it? Or 16? Now we're 6 seconds quicker. Really wish they had radios in these things. We could be blowing some rock channel or something. Maybe we should turn the music back on.
Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
Thank you. Did you remember I was to get my packed lunch? God, I do love driving trucks. As I said, they've got them in Forza as well, but I'm not the biggest fan of
You're over
Forza.
halfway in this race.
Since we figured it out a lap ago. Yeah, not the biggest fan of the Forza handling. Like, I love Forza 4 handling. That was... Oh, that's my favourite out of all the Forzas. Then they took a huge step back with Forza 5, which was just rushed out for the release of the Xbox One to be a launch title. And it unfortunately shows. Then Forza 6 was what Forza 5 was meant to be, introducing the wet weather. Oh, it was actually a pretty good game, Forza 6, I thought. And Forza 7 is built on that, but started off poorly with all the microtransactions bullshit and just the progression system in Korea. Like, Korea seems to have just stepped back since 4 and 3, when you had all these special events as well. Like, 4 had such a mammoth career mode. I can understand why they want to scale it back from there.
Try to hold your position. Keep your brakes cool. Remember to spray water on them.
But yeah, they've just gone in a direction I don't really agree with Forza. I know Forza 6 career was alright. But Forza 7, yeah. I don't know, maybe I have to go back to it. It's been about a year since I've been in there and they've done lots of updates since then. So maybe it's a bit better now. Like, I've heard it's actually decent. Especially online now with the race regulations. Like, very interested to try it out now. Like, get back into cycle production. Like, I always loved that. Something I dearly missed. In 5. It wasn't really in 6 as well. I remember that being added as like an update. So could it speed it up under a 210?
One lap left.
Not quite, God's sake. We're gonna get there. Got one lap to do it, at least in this race. God, how have we not hit a penalty thing yet? And how have we not run out of water? God, we had to wait for the back end there. That kind of went against us on that occasion. But yeah, I'd definitely have to try out Forza again. Try out the trucks there, and again go back to Automobilist and try out the trucks. Maybe have a championship there. Have like a Formula Truck Championship to go alongside this. That could be pretty fun. And I've got so many series to revisit though.
Keep going. You can win this race.
Oh, let's pre-water the brakes. See if that's done anything. Maybe do it before and after the corners. Maybe that's the way to do it rather than during the braking. Because we're giving ourselves a bit too much to do there. No one's saying that. It's been a pretty easy race, unfortunately. Good elbow racing in the first part. But then, since then, I think that second we're staring at, unfortunately. Been a bit easier. To go out the final corner. Oh, this is pretty close. To that 209. Oh, yeah.
These are the results for the race. You can see each driver's position and the points they earned from the race.
Congratulations, first place.
Thank you. I'm amazing. As I win by 15.5 seconds ahead of Han. Then Rodriguez, Anderson, James. I will not attempt to bounce that name. Helm, Rodriguez, Lentz, and Albacete has... Can we scroll down to... Was 11, 12? There we go. Why didn't they just have this as 12? Why did I have it at 10? There you go. And then the Gramo Cup. So you can see there's the 5. So Anderson, James, name I can't pronounce. Rodriguez, another name I can't pronounce. And that is all of the drivers there. So that was a pretty good debut race. As we get 20 points, way down to 1.
These are the current driver standings. Here, you can see where you are in the standings compared to the other drivers.
So I hope you enjoyed the first race then in European Truck Championship FIA Racing Scene. Keep on Trucking Championship. As we're going to see what we can do in the next 3 races around here in Misano next time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.
Well done on completing your first race. Your professional truck racing career has officially begun. Go on to the next race.